We live.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a project long time coming. We are live with the first episode of the Aftershow right here on Multiplex. I am TM Smith, your head commissioner honcho over here, and this is a show just outside of it of us hanging out, talking about stuff, talking about certain things, and every week we'll have a rotating cast of characters on here. And for our first episode, why not do it big? Other than myself, we have first introducing, you know him over at Fandom Fights. You see him going with his battle of personal split personalities. Caleb Coho. Caleb, how are you tonight?
You know what? I've been better, but you know what? I'm excited to hang out with you guys. This is a project that I have wanted to be a part of, and I saw it in the admin chat that we were going to do that today, and I was like, you know what? I need a group hangout session. So hey, I am here.
Well, yeah, that is the thing of coming in, having some fun. So hopefully it cheers you up. And of course, where would we be without my Spock, my Daniel Jackson, my number 2, I guess you could say, Kane McMillan. Kane, after you hit off your mute button, how are you?
I totally thought you were going with like Brooklyn there, because I didn't expect to be your Spock. Aw, that's nice.
Yeah, you're like a prime Spock, not a douchey Star Trek Discovery Spock, but you know,
There's a Spock in Discovery? What?
Unfortunately, yes, in season 2 there's going to be.
Him?
So
who's playing him?
Not Zachary.
No, it's someone who is a worse actor than Aldenreich from Solo. So
Ooh,
yeah,
I like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have poor taste, my friend. But also joining us, we're glad to have him. He's finally here joining us. He is the Black Lantern, Brooklyn Vale. You know him from Music Jukebox. You know him from Take 3. How are you, Brooklyn?
We're doing absolutely peachy. It is storming here, so it's been a good day. Got to stay in, watch a really shitty movie, and I feel pretty, and get to hang out with you guys.
All right. Yes. Constant storming up there in Canada is snow and polar bears. So hopefully we don't encounter that here. And last, it's Nico. Yeah. Okay. So we see Nico. No, I'm just kidding. How are you, Nico?
I am good. I just got done seeing Ralph Breaks the Internet and 4 games of bowling. So now I'm happy to be joining you guys for the after show.
What's the highest game we shot today?
Won 2 games, lost 2 games. It takes me at least 1 game to find my footing, but once I do.
So what was the highest score you shot today?
Probably like it was a low day, so maybe 140 something.
What was your strike to gutter ball ratio?
I rarely get a gutter ball. I'm really good at rolling the ball straight. It's just a matter of can I get it to go towards the middle. Sometimes they'll swerve to the side, but I'm pretty good at bowling.
We're already getting off topic, but you brought up bowling, and this is what happens when you bring up bowling. If we ever do a meetup, you are bringing a bowling ball if you own one. I'm going to bowl you.
I do not own a bowling ball, but I will bowl you either way.
If we ever do a bowling thing, I would like to end on this bowling thing. I like bowling.
Fine. But I'm just going to let you know, you all are going to fucking lose.
I am fully aware that I will
bring
lose.
it, bitch. Bring it.
I'm going to be sitting back. Oh my god. Okay. Guys, enough with the bowling.
No, I like this. How much money?
How much money putting on it?
Oh my god.
How much money, Nico?
I'll get 5-1 odds on Nico winning.
Let's put up $100.
Wow.
Bet. Wow. Bet. My high game's 288.
Guys, boy. Chicago, we're making it happen.
Oh my god.
That will be a video.
Tim, whatever happened to the kids these days playing like actual sports like football and like hockey?
Okay, I just want to point out I was a varsity lineman for my football team, the captain
of
the bowling
team.
You were
a lineman?
I was the drum major. You lost.
You were a lineman.
Yes, I was offensive.
How tall are you?
Oh, I'm only 5'8", boy.
I was a lineman. I'm 6'3" and I'm like 370 some pounds.
Kane, you did not strike me as someone who played football. No offense, but you.
You know, you live and you learn. And yeah, I would play football. I would start, and then during halftime, I would go conduct the band, and then I'd go back on the field.
And meanwhile, I was hiding in the drama department doing 3 shows a year.
I was kicking ass in a dojo.
All right. We got some intros there, some nice early betting for what we meet up for the Chicago event. So that's going to be fun. I would still like to do a pool one where I just own all of you and take your money.
I will play that too.
I'm not a good billiards man.
Nico, you'll lose more money because Kane will beat you, and then so will I.
How much money will Nico lose at the end of this Chicago trip where we put money on sports?
Probably he'll be out there doing hand jobs for $5 a pop for sailors coming off of leave.
How about this? If there's ever some like slight chance in hell that I can ever make it to Chicago, let's all throw in $50 for poker. We'll do like eight max round for round.
Never played poker in my life.
Exactly.
That I will not do. That I will not do because
that's actual gambling, right?
All of this is actual gambling, Caleb. But
I know. That's why I was joking.
As a former employee of Red Stars Racetrack Casino, I must say our responsible gambling slogan: know your limit and play within it.
Yeah, our responsible gambling slogan is as long as they're not flashing themselves, they're fine. But I think the first thing because I know we're going off talking with things, I was out shopping today, not Christmas shopping because I'll do that last minute like I always do. Just regular for my 2 days off a week. I'll go get something at the store so I can focus on with all of this multiplex stuff and catch up with writing and everything. And I'm out there getting something at the dollar store, and 3 people in line are just constantly bringing this up, and I've heard it for weeks, guys. Why is everyone getting so offended with Christmas songs and Christmas music nowadays? Like, I've heard this from the radio stations. I've heard this now here. I've heard this from other people just walking around. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't get it. Yes, Brooklyn.
So, as the music guy on the panel, I've actually been waiting to talk about this for a while. So I can't speak for every area, but here in PEI, people were like, they were pissed, but they were like, why is this song getting pulled off? Like, you could go back and look at every other Christmas song, and like there's some sort of like innuendo or something. I am one of the people that think that Baby It's Cold Outside has not aged well. If you kind of look at it into the modern eyes of today, especially with like everything that's happened in the past few years, it doesn't look good. That being said, though, I don't think it should have been banned. I mean, like, if it comes on and if you don't like it, similar to what I do with almost every Bruce Springsteen song or most Justin Bieber songs, I will just gladly change the radio station. This also could have been handled a lot better. Like, I feel like if you just don't announce it and you just take it out of the rotation and like nobody says boo, but that's just my opinion. It's not a great song to begin with.
So I don't mean to cut you guys off. I've been waiting to find a spot.
My
I
God!
just want to point out this ball I shot a 288 with, and then this one I shot a 277 with, and these were both last year. So
Kane, would it be safe to say that you are a terrific ball handler?
You got me. But you know what? This terrific ball handler, as you would say, is going to be $100 richer.
If you look at the balls, they're blue balls. Cade has blue balls.
Cade is terrific at handling blue balls, and he's gonna get $100 for handling his blue balls. So.
And look at that smile. Look at that smile on his face. He loves his blue balls. He loves handling his blue balls.
Okay. All right. That's funny. All right. So, Baby It's Cold Outside.
That's what you get to talk about. Okay.
I'm one of the people who I like that song. I totally understand that people think it has not aged well, and I completely understand it because I hear it, I see it. It can be completely construed as rapey. I had this conversation with a friend 2 years ago, and it's like I like the song personally because I understand that it's from like the 30s or the 40s. It won Best Original Song at the Oscars because I know that for some reason. But yeah, I've performed it in pop singers. I've performed it in a lot of choral groups, and I think it's a really fun song to sing. And like, it just depends on what kind of intent you have behind the song. Honestly, because I think it can come off as rapey or it can come off as kind of like old school, genuine sweet. It just depends on who you have singing it. Like when Bublé and Idina Menzel do it, it comes off as kind of charming. So I don't know.
But if you had Bill Cosby and anyone else singing it, then
Okay.
And here we go to my point of maybe the society now is just so overly offended that maybe this has come up, because if you look back, like
overly offended.
Yes,
it's for finding me offensive.
I mean, is it that this generation of society is just so overly offended with every fucking thing that this has come up now? Because 10, 20, 30 years ago, you didn't see this type of shit. Like, I mean, I don't know. It just perplexes me. Like, why is everyone just so offended with shit nowadays? I've never... Yes, Nico, since you are the younger one here.
If I can propose a couple theories. For one, there's a chance that people were bringing this up decades ago, and it just wasn't getting a lot of attention because we didn't have social media the way we do now. So that's usually one of the theories I go to. The other theory I have is that, now, Baby It's Cold Outside I get. Some of the other matters, like the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and this and that, I feel like, and also with the Santa should be unisex or whatever, I feel like these are like bullshit things that are being created by someone who wants to take attention away from like actual issues that matter during Christmas time, like the fact that stores are like the holiday shopping season now opens on Thanksgiving Day, and people
that one has always been heading towards that direction anyways, because the holiday season has been pushed closer and closer to that, to getting to Black Friday, and with Thanksgiving now, with like the Walmart around me, their Black Friday sale started the night of Thanksgiving, before even midnight to go into Black Friday. So I think that has always been heading towards that direction, and I'm not surprised with that after doing retail for so many years of my life. That does not surprise me, but I can see some of the other points you had there with some of it.
And also, like another thing I've heard about Christmas music, and it's not, and it has nothing to do with taking offense to it, but I've heard that too much Christmas music might be bad.
Oh no!
And Nico's internet cut out.
I thought that was just me.
Oh no, that was all of us.
But I guess it's just like too much, and for the song "Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time," yeah, you listen to that too many times, it's definitely bad for your mental health. I would punch a baby if I heard that song on loop while locked in a room.
Well, I mean, I think, like, I know Brooklyn has some retail stories and everything, and all of us, but I know for mine, like years ago, my old boss would start Christmas music the day of Thanksgiving, and we'd go nonstop until after the 2nd of January, and I wanted to shoot myself constantly. Like, I think that's where I became an alcoholic, was on that. But
first,
yeah.
To sort of go off of Nico's thing of like just where society is at, essentially, and like why people are getting so offended. Society today is really polarized. If you look at like the Donald Trump election, and just how we've been. Look at like any internet forum. Like look at movie talking movie fans. Look at the Schmodown Facebook page. Sometimes there's a lack of agree to disagree. which is sort of like the philosophy that I try to go by. Like say if somebody's like, you know what, Brooklyn, A Few Good Men is like one of the worst movies ever, and I'll be like, I disagree with you, but I respect your opinion. What else? In regards of retail thing, in Canada, I know for us, and I know people are even with this issue, people are sort of torn on it. I've always had a rule of I couldn't play Christmas music, or we couldn't put up any decorations until the day after Remembrance Day, which is November 11th. I know it's different for us, because we don't have Thanksgiving in November. It's early in October, and that way, because for me personally, I found it's if you start earlier, it's a huge disrespect to the veterans. Because they put in a lot of work. But even then, people are like, they fought for us. They fought for our freedom so that they could do this earlier. But my general rule overall is music wise from November 12th to the end of November, I'll add in Christmas music to my rotation, and then December 1st right until New Year's is full on Christmas music. So yeah.
Kane, Caleb, anything to add with that? Or
I think I've said my piece on that one. Kane and I both got comments from Christian Harloff recently, so I think that's what we're both checking.
Oh, I actually wasn't even checking that. I was on Instagram.
Your guy's new BFF? What the hell?
Well, what happened was Christian made a post about ask me anything related to Spectacular. So I wrote a comment asking about what's his favorite storyline that he's most proud of, and what storyline is he most excited about character arc going into Spectacular 3, and both answers were corruption. And then Kane asked when he's announcing the next live event and if he's having a good day, and he responded and said,
I also asked about the Gucci bag.
Oh yeah, and the Gucci bag from last Spectacular, which I really want to know. That's my thing. # what's in the Gucci bag.
We have an idea.
We have an idea, but anyway,
it's Tom Dagny.
Can we pitch that idea?
Pipe, right?
Kane,
no, the idea is that it's the One Ring. And then the One Ring.
That's how they set up Robert Parker.
By the way, Tim, do you remember when Shane McMahon came back a couple of years ago and they tried to do a storyline involving a locked box, and then that locked box disappeared?
Oh yeah, that was just. I think we'll actually see closure with a Gucci bag, but to that lockbox, that could have been anything from the deed to the company to why he loves muscular men so much, or why Vince loves muscular men so much. But
sweaty man.
Kind of like Kane loves his blue balls.
Thank you, King Ross.
Thank you.
But he said just stay tuned for the entire event. So maybe we'll find out that Chicago is going to be at some point, and then Multiplex will be taking over that live event.
By the way,
Pretty
Tim,
much, yeah.
Is there anything we can tease for Chicago when it gets officially announced, or are we keeping that close to the vest?
Yeah, what, of you losing all your money?
All we can say about Chicago is if there's a Chicago event, Multiplex will be there, and that's all you're going to see for the rest of the year.
And we will bowl against Nico, and I'm going to be $100 richer.
And then
I want to make that video so bad. I really hope the Chicago event gets announced soon.
Let me raise the stakes.
Oh God! While you're ahead,
Kane, if you beat me in bowling, the next time we play in trivia, should I lose that match, I will go through a table.
I don't want you to go through a table.
I thought he was going to retire.
Wait. No.
I thought he was going to retire. I was like, that's
fire.
fire.
Did you ever hear of quitting while you're ahead?
Nope.
Why? Why would you do that?
Because
first of all, that's a waste of a good table. Then you got to go buy a new table.
So let's play story time.
Because I'm the only one who's physically capable of actually going through it. The rest of you will chicken out at the idea. I'll do it. I'll do it for the entertainment value.
Should I show you my busted ankle from football? But go ahead, Kane.
Let's play story time with Kane, okay?
Okay.
When I was 4 years old, I started bowling. I'm 21 now. And my grandfather, he ran a bowling pro shop. He bowled with pros his entire life. He was trained by pros, and he taught me how to bowl. There was at one point that he was able to join the Professional Bowling Association, and then he slipped in Walmart and broke his knee. But that's a different story. I'm just saying. Nico, stop. I would have took a high five. You're like $100.
Kane, you seem to be forgetting that I win matches that I'm definitely not supposed to win.
You win matches that involve luck.
That's
doesn't involve luck.
Like I win the shit that I'm not supposed to win, so I have a lot of confidence in myself.
Okay, so Nico, as somebody who has logic and somebody who has reasoning, this wonderful thing called physics, whereas you have this one hand that can manipulate a ball in such a way, and you have to guide it in that way where you can get down as many pins as you can. Luck is not a thing in bowling. I've tried that, and I shit the bed really hard.
I have skill as well. I
mean, you can do arm day every day for the next month, but
you'll just throw it faster and stronger, and that doesn't actually help.
All right.
Yeah, I really think, Nico, you ought to quit while you're ahead, honestly, because you're now contemplating physical harm to yourself after losing $100. Like, just go with like $20. Like, that's usually my bet for
you are talking to a person who jumped into a pool after he lost.
A pitcher of beer, even like that's like me and my buddies would play cards. We played tournament style cards, and it's like, oh yeah, the loser has to buy the first round of pitchers. Like
Brooklyn. Me and you are probably the only ones on here that can legally purchase beer and alcohol. The other three can't.
I can. I'm 20.
I'm 21.
I'm 23. I'm 23. I just don't drink.
Hi, my name is Caleb, and I'm a fetus.
Okay. Caleb's the only one that can purchase beer on this panel.
Can someone gift that? Because I feel like that was great.
Brooklyn, get on that.
I need that personally just for my everyday life when I'm texting people. Just, hi, my name is Caleb, and I'm a fetus. It's just my version of, hi, I'm Jared, I'm 19, and I never learned how to read.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
Wait.
So as the only one who legally can't consume alcohol, I completely support watching this endeavor.
I just want to go to the YouTube chat.
But
and,
what you are then, Caleb? You are the designated driver.
That is terrifying.
No, it's great. You ever if you sober drive for a bunch of drunk idiots, then you're gonna be that one person be like, you know what dumb shit you did last night? And they're like, what did I do?
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing, Brooklyn. If we have this in Chicago,
you want me to drive from Chicago?
If they filmed this could actually be used at certain trials that would probably like myself and Cody will probably be in.
Okay, here's the thing. If we were to do this, I feel like we just need managers. You know how we have managers in trivia? We need managers in bowling. Like, I just want to see like someone hyping Nico up, like, yeah, you can do this, and then
Nico's gonna be his own manager. Cody will manage me. Well, no, he only manages winners, so he'll manage you.
Yeah, the only time Cody will ever.
Brooklyn will come manage me and be like, "Hey, man, you're no Ed Sale, but you'll do fine."
unless I come across a pot of gold, Chicago is not in my sights.
Sad.
So does that mean when Nico hypes himself up, he's gonna have a beer?
I want Tim Bracala to manage me, because here's the thing. If I could pick, here's the thing. Tim is probably one of the nicest dudes. Like, brother Tim is one of the nicest dudes that I've met so far this, last couple months that we started this. Dude, I've known you for a long time, Kane.
Can I just say that I love we keep calling him Brother Tim, like he's Brother Nero from the Broken Hardy storyline?
Well, did you see that Sister Maggie, wife of Brother Tim, joined Multiplex yesterday?
Yeah, wife Maggie.
I did see that.
Which, welcome. But also, if I could pick one person to manage me that isn't a manager right now, I would pick Brother Tim.
There's also a really fun fact that Nico might not even be the second best bowler, because Wisconsin's a very bowling heavy state, just like Michigan. So you never know. Brother Tim or Robert could be really good. Not saying that they're going, but if they were, they could be really good, and we don't even know.
That is true. You never know who's going to be good at what activity or sport. But I still want to see the picture of
Robert Parker
Nico.
said Brother Tim is great at bowling. Ooh.
I still want to see the picture of
This
Nico
is between-
hyping himself up with a beer as he's managing himself.
Let's just make this a fatal 4-way bowling match. Brother Tim, myself, Kane, and Nico. Winner gets $100.
That's only
And
$25 each.
And loser goes through a table.
And loser goes through a table.
Are you providing said
no.
table? Because
Yeah, are you providing the table? Because I don't think the Airbnb is going to be okay with us breaking a table.
Nico, are you sure that you're not from Buffalo? This is some sort of table fetish that I'm honestly concerned about.
No,
You look
Hey,
at someone like
fact.
Edge, Adam Copeland, one of the greatest wrestlers ever. You know how many tables and ladders that man has been through? You know
A
how
lot.
fucked up his neck and back has been? Do you want to be Adam Copeland right now, where you're in your prime and you can't even wrestle? Come on, man. Give your hand a shake. Jesus. You Americans and your love of tables.
Not all of us share that.
Sorry, Pennsylvanians.
Are you from Buffalo?
I mean,
fun fact though, my junior year, I did a countrywide tournament in Buffalo, New York. It's the only time I've ever been to New York.
Okay,
Oh.
Kane, if you keep no, I'm not gonna say it. That's no. I was thinking something inappropriate. Not gonna go there. No.
this is the after show, Nico. There's no fixed appropriations.
I can't brag about trivia. I can't brag about most things, but this is the only thing I can ever brag about. Let me have this.
So I want to throw a wrench into this whole situation because this show is not going to go on the rails. I'm just telling you right now, we are not going to go according to plan.
Wait, we were on the rails.
Except for the last like half hour.
Except for the last like
Then
half hour, then we'll be like, okay. Like
when were we even on the rails to start
We're
with?
basically Collider Live. So I'll
with more entertaining people.
And I don't want to piss off Mr. Permerson, who's like, don't talk about sports in my good Christian movie server. Wait.
Ryan actually said that?
No, I'm just saying, like, he hates sports. And if you bring up sports, like if we bring up sports in the confidential cinema chat, the dude freaking loses his mind and is like, nope. This is a movie group. We talk about movies only. And it's like, okay.
But only movies that I've seen because
And
I don't
only
watch a
movies
lot
I
of
have
them.
seen. Because I will not, God forbid, I watch Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh wait, were you guys yelling at him in the confidential cinema chat too about that?
About Spider-Verse? Oh no, I was mentioning that he doesn't want to watch Spider-Verse because of you.
We yelled at him about that in the Alpha Alliance chat.
I'm not in any chats with Ryan except for like the comic book league chat, and I rarely pay attention to that. So yeah, I haven't yelled at Ryan for this.
Oh, I can't look at a lot of the messages in there because it's like whenever I open it, it says you are in a chat with blocked people. Would you like to see the messages? And every time that message comes up, I just don't have like the willpower to press. I don't have the willpower to press sure. I just leave the chat again.
Who do you have blocked?
I think you know who.
I'm pretty sure you know who I have blocked.
Beavis and Butthead?
No,
Ryan
depending on your definition of Beavis and Butthead.
I think that's
Is
a
it
great
Ryan?
insult to Beavis and Butthead.
No, Ryan's not
God,
blocked. Well, Ryan's not blocked. I have to talk to Ryan. But back to the NFL talk real quick.
I am currently losing fantasy football to Jim Green.
And you're playing for third place against
I
Mrs.
am winning at fantasy football to
Brooklyn, it's going to be me versus you for fifth place, and you're going to win. But
how? I
don't know.
I was 3-9.
You drafted Le'Veon Bell with the first pick.
Wait. Are you meaning to tell me that the fifth to eighth place guys are still in games right now? Because I haven't even been paying attention since after. Yeah,
Nico, you are currently going to be playing Mr. T.M. Smith for seventh place.
I
haven't been paying attention until after week 4.
Nico, if you don't beat Brooklyn, you're going to be playing Tim and get the free seventh place spot.
I seriously thought that for the fifth to eighth place guys, our season was over because the playoffs had started.
No, there's like a consolation bracket. Anyway,
damn it!
I want to very quickly talk about how the Cleveland Browns are still in the hunt to make it into the AFC playoffs over the Cincinnati Bengals, the Denver Broncos, and I'm like, I want the Browns. I want to say early on this season, like the season was over and they started like picking up guys in trades and drafts or whatever. I said they're going to go from 0-16 to the playoffs in a spot in the playoffs. My dreams are still alive. because they can do it. Will they do it? Hell no. Can they do it? Maybe. And also, a wild Cody has appeared.
Fuck
yes.
Cool, unlock the back door. Why? You're doing so good, and then you brought in because you know what? He's gonna ruin this football conversation. But like, oh my god, the Boston Red Sox are the greatest baseball team ever. I still wear baseball memorabilia when it's fucking December.
Yes. Welcome, Cody. Welcome. Welcome. He'll talk, I guess, when he
while we let him
to.
get settled in. The Carolina Panthers are going to get eliminated.
What has Canada ever done?
What was that?
Why don't you shut your mouth? I said, what has Canada ever done besides back out of wars? Please shut your mouth. Hey guys! I know bullies are coming to beat you up after school. We'll help you. 2:55 till school gets out. Oh, sorry guys, can't make it. Sorry, mom, gotta leave. There's Canada. We're everything.
So Cody.
The only good
Cody,
thing Canada's ever made is Nickelback, and that's debatable.
So Cody, your definition of Canada is Mitch and his crew in Days Confused trying to escape the ass whippings.
Yeah.
Caleb, I have to correct you. Canada's given us two good things. It would be Mr. Ryan Reynolds and Mr. Wade Wilson.
You are correct.
But then they gave us Ryan Adams and we
There's
hated
a
him.
lot more. This is
Do not get me started. Do not get me started. Secondly, I want to add on to things that I've heard while I was waiting because I was really hesitant on jumping in. I want the Kane versus Nico and the loser goes through a table. But I want to put Nico through said table.
Kane, I hope we're covering our security deposit down for that B&B.
I just also want to point out we're not playing with bumpers, right?
No bumpers. Oh hell no,
Good.
no bumpers. No,
Okay.
no.
I just want to make sure.
I'm insulted that you even have to ask that question.
I'm gonna come last because we don't have bumpers, but that's only because I'm here to boost pad stats.
Caleb, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna show up, to Chicago a couple days early. I'll give you some training.
Okay.
And that way you can beat Nico.
Okay.
Why don't here's the thing. Why don't you, Kane, and you, Caleb, team up against Nico and Tim?
Nico has to play a handicap bowling match against me and Kane.
No, make it a tag team match. Make it a tag team match.
Okay, but that might actually make it kind of fair, and you're taking $100 away from me, Tim.
Oh, you're right.
So shut your mouth.
I'm just going to be sitting there and judging this.
Me and Nico on a team versus Kane.
I will bowl
because I can get him an extra strike.
I was fine.
I will throw it. You're right. I will throw it.
I was fine with the fatal 4-way stipulation.
I'm down with the fatal 4-way bowling match.
I just want to bowl against you.
Who's the fatal 4?
Myself, Kane, Nico, and possibly Tim Riccardo.
Are we just assuming the guys from Wisconsin can throw a ball now?
No, Robert confirmed.
Yes,
Robert confirmed that Tim can bowl.
That's like assuming people from Minnesota are just losers. Well, like.
I mean, hashtag skull.
Wow.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm here. I'm sorry I missed so much.
Hey, man, the only losers from Minnesota come from, like, the Minneapolis area, so fight me. Minneapolis.
Wow,
that's
fired.
a sucky town. Minneapolis, sucky town.
They gave us Mighty Ducks.
One of the Dakotas, though?
The Dakotas don't exist, but I live there, so... I'm the only known person that lives near the Dakotas.
Okay. I also have another thing to bring up because we're just not getting back on the rails, and we're not even trying at this point.
There are no rails.
So I've already brought this up to, I believe, Tim and Nico. But for Mother's Day, I feel like Caleb's mom should play Nico's mom in a movie Warzone match.
Well, no.
I actually really like that. I like
Okay,
it.
remember we switched it. It was for Mother's Day special. It was going to be mother and son versus mother and son. It was going to be Nico and his ball versus Caleb and his ball.
I am completely okay with this idea.
Okay, here's the situation.
Here's the situation.
I'd be more okay with Father's Day. Me and my I'm sorry about that.
Oh, dude, I'm not offended, but Brooklyn is like, you just killed a baby right in front of him.
Nico, I am so sorry.
As somebody who has done that to them, no. Sorry. To storm off for 2 seconds. I have made a your mama joke to a guy who lost his mother while at a very young age. So Caleb, I know exactly how you feel. So I just instantly replayed that moment. But yeah, it's.
I'm sorry,
Caleb.
Nico,
Caleb, Coho, you're good. You're good. Trust me.
I don't think there was ever any
the,
intentional.
Nico.
It was just everybody else in the room was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Nico, I like the idea.
So we're good.
I just meant because my dad is the guy who got me into film, so I would play a Father's Day match with of me and my dad on a team. But I would.
I might not be I might not be the right opponent for you on a Father's Day match, but here's the situation with the Mother's Day match. I am the only one in this house who wants to be on camera. Like my mom. Like
I can just see your guys' mom showing up on camera and be like, "This is what you do all day. Get a real job."
No, my mom would show up. My mom would show up and be like, "Your friends are really mean."
I imagine Caleb's mom as literally Aunt Clarice. My Aunt Clarice would just be like,
"I'm not doing that." No.
Caleb's mom would come in, not even knowing what's going on, put laundry on his bed, and then just like, what's going on? And there's Nico, and we'll build a encasement around Nico's mom so she doesn't have to be on camera, but we can hear her voice. We just make sure she doesn't have a phone or any devices to look up answers.
And here's the thing: we've already seen Caleb's mom on camera when she brings laundry into Caleb's room. So
good.
Yes.
That was one of the best moments of that championship match.
And listen. To back up what I've said, I've been trying for a year to get my sister to be a part of this community. She does not want her face being on camera. She does not want her personal information. And my mom, she doesn't even have a social media presence.
How
she does not have a
different
Facebook
everybody is,
or a Twitter. So like even if I've been trying harder for my sister than to get my mom on here, but if I were to ask my mom, I have a feeling the answer would be no.
Nico's family won't go on, but Nico's nipples will appear wherever he needs to put them. Fair enough. We know where the line is in the.
By the way, if I ever play Nazario Montenegro, I'm going shirtless just to piss him off.
No, you're not, because I will throw you off that fucking call, Nico.
All right, so I'm just gonna put out an open call. If you and your mother would like to play in a team match on Mother's Day against Caleb Coho and his mother, you're more than welcome to just send us a DM, because we can make it happen.
Bring your laundry. Bring your laundry too.
Bring my laundry. How about this? Me and my laundry versus like anything in trivia. Let's see how it goes.
Oh no! And here's the thing: I want to, in the middle of the match, and Kate, I think we're going to do this, is try to get each of the mothers to tell us embarrassing stories of when they were little. So for Caleb, it would just be a couple months ago because he's very little. But I think that would be an interesting little twist we do.
I just want to say. I just want to look at the chat for a minute to acknowledge some of the people in here. Mr. Eli Mack, I like that Eli is watching. And Robert says, Caleb, your mom has done laundry in the background of your videos before. And yeah. Robert said I confirm that Tim is decent, is what he said.
I also do want to bring up one because I'm looking at it too. Jonathan Peck, fuck you. The Cowboys, leave them alone. They've been through enough this season.
Yes, the Cowboys and their incredible offense this week. How is that offense, Tim?
Go make your maple syrup in Canada and fuck.
How's your
puppy?
Brooklyn? Where's your NFL team? You don't got one.
The New York Giants.
Nope.
And how are they doing?
That's a very different thing.
It's been a rough year.
That's the person that literally says, your team really sucks. Who do you got? The team that's worse than your team. Good job.
Last place division winners.
I love that. He's like, Brooklyn came in here with so much confidence, like, oh yeah, your team sucks. Oh yeah, well, who's your team? The Giants.
My favorite thing is the meme of the Giants. Like every time they like miss a ball or something, they always put "Hello Darkness, my old friend." Like every time I see a pop up, it's just like Odell's just looking at Eli, and Eli looking down. Hello Darkness, my old friend.
I want to say, Robert, thank you for defending me. Yes, they are being mean to me, but mom's got to hold their ground.
Who is?
Robert
Who said that? Robert?
Robert, Robert says, hey, don't be mean to mom.
Multiplex. Kane is bomb. I'm dead. Caleb's the kid we never wanted.
Can I just be Kane?
Why do you got to make it so real? I'm the kid they never wanted anyway.
I wanted for him.
That's right. Kane got me a job and showed me that the non-canon place sucks.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Caleb,
can I wait? I have a question.
Yes.
If we're considering that place non-canon now, does that mean that my wrestling trivia championship win never happened?
In my eyes, no. In my eyes, no. I'm just kidding. Wrestling is not a thing that exists here, but it exists in Hunter's thing. So if you and Hunter want to say non-canon or canon, that is completely fine. But I'm just saying, for me personally, nothing that happened over there is canon to me. Also,
I do want to say this. Eli? I do want to say this. Eli, that is hilarious. Nico is our weird uncle that just shows up at family functions.
This is going to be really bad because it shows that apparently I don't watch videos. But Caleb, you lost to a New Zealander in sports?
Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm winning the entire match. We get to the final round. Malcolm misses his 2. Malcolm misses his 3. His 5-pointer is in the category of NFL. The question is, what 2 teams did the Pittsburgh Steelers beat in back-to-back Super Bowls? And he goes,
Green Bay Packers.
He goes, well, the Dallas Cowboys are America's team, and the Minnesota Vikings is Caleb's team, so I'll say those. And he freaking pulls the 5. And then I have to go and answer mine. Missed my 2, missed my 3. My 5-pointer is NBA. Oh, I should get this, no problem. The question is, what is Larry Bird's hometown?
And here goes the crying.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
You can't complain about questions at all, Mr.
I've come to talk with you again.
Robert,
no, Nico, put your ukulele down unless you can tell me what note you're playing.
Robert, I don't think the slogan of I'm doing really well, then choke embarrassingly is not really what fits for me.
I literally call Caleb the one question away guy because he's always just the one question.
Would you say both my would you say both my round 1, round 2 full metal geek matches I'm doing really well but choke embarrassingly because I don't think I choked in round 1.
I played along with that last one.
Let's calm our tits here for 2 seconds. Caleb Coho only got to round 3 in those full metal matches because numbers hate Brooklyn Vale.
We're talking geek. You don't understand.
Also, I think that knocking out Royal Flush on my own is the antithesis of my choke to the end.
Here we go.
Oh.
Hey, you beat him so bad he became a manager and never showed back up.
It was basically me versus, here's the thing. Royal Flush should have knocked us out. I was coming into this match expecting a knockout. And what happens? The knockout comes from the other end with the guy whose teammate answered 2 questions correct the entire match, and neither of them were in round 2.
And in that promo, I congratulated you and only you. Subrath had no business in being in that match.
As you should.
So I just want to point out, if we're going to talk about matches that Caleb was in, we got to bring up, this seems like every time he plays in a multi-person match against RJ, he just loses.
Hey, that's only happened once, twice. That's happened twice in canon.
It's happened once, twice, possibly 3 times. I don't know about the 4th. Why do you keep just
It happened 3 times in canon because
I will say this.
Canon accepted.
RJ is my kryptonite, and I've just come to accept it. That no matter what I play in, RJ always finds a way to just destroy me in every match I play. And it's just one of those things where it's like, hey man, you know what?
So he's RJ is yours. RJ is Jim's version of Nico, essentially. Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah.
Just to say something too about this bowling, there will be no chance in hell I'm managing Caleb or Nico. Kane, I will back you 100%.
Yeah.
I said you'll manage winners, so you'll manage Kane.
I just didn't want anybody to get the false hope that I would support you in Chicago any different.
Cody has signed it in legal, as a legal document that he can and never will support.
I'm not Nico. I don't just show up and be like, I support you. I don't know what this means, but I support you. I'll help you study, but I can't win matches myself. But I support you.
You know what, Cody?
Yeah,
go ahead and manage Kane. Go ahead and keep stroking his ego. Maybe his balls will change color from blue afterwards.
Okay.
Well, that's not how bowling balls work.
Okay. But because I just realized that they're both on call. Manager of the year.
Okay, I have to say something first before that because this person told me to. Ryan Permison told me to tell you that there is no such thing as canon and non-canon in trivia, Caleb. That is he just wanted me to let you know.
Is there ever? Man, is there ever?
So in other words, the time that you lost to him in that non-canon place, he wants it to be canon.
It's not canon. It's not canon.
That place doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. Hey,
Ryan.
Ryan. If any shitty movie that you refuse to watch is non-existent, then that match is non-existent. Come at me.
It's kind of that place that shall not be named.
Yeah,
like Wakanda. You gotta smoke a lot of weed, and then it will open up to you, and maybe you'll see it. But until then, it is shut off to the rest of the world. Okay, let's keep that.
Wow.
Mordor.
In no way am I comparing Black Panther to that place, but let's just leave it that way.
I think Black Panther is 10 times more ethnically diverse than that place.
So according to Robert in the chat, there is 19,021,491,093,849% chance percentage of canon and non-canon. So good to see that we're getting into the trillions.
Thank you, Robert. That's why I back you.
But here's the thing.
Brooklyn,
here's the thing we all have to accept, and Caleb has to accept this in therapy to get over the fact RJ beat him and won a Power Rangers toy. Deal with it.
See, if there's any loss, if there was ever any loss that I'm most okay with versus RJ, it is the non-canon one. Because
not the one where you just got blown out.
Not the other two. The two canon ones, not a fan. The two non-canon ones.
I love Kate. Just like the one where you got your ass kicked. We've got that one, but we can count the.
He doesn't want to accept that. It brings up bad memories of where did they touch you? Show us.
Can I just say though, the non-canon match that I lost to RJ in is the one that made me quit.
Oh, and here, can I say something? I don't want to go into a full manager of the year discussion because that is the dumbest topic I've ever heard in my life. For one, everybody I'm up against hardly ever or didn't appear with their client on camera except for me. And Nico's viewpoint is, no one told me what the matches were. When I literally had to message Tim and Caleb and Robert every time, be like, hey, when's Robert's match? Okay. Add me to the group. Nico just wants it automatically handed to, like, you have to work for it, okay?
Okay. First off, you're a debate champion, so you're better at bringing up arguments than I am. I am master of putting my foot in my mouth, so I will give you that. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. First off, I was working for Multiplex while being a manager, so there were times where I was like, if I'm on call, will it be considered a bias? Because I also technically work for this league. So there was that.
You were running the match for Smartacus? No, you weren't.
No, you remember that one time? No, he was in that Smartacus match.
Triple threat match. Oh no, weren't there either.
Cody, he was in that one Smartacus match where he was dropping hints on accident. Remember?
Yeah. Oh man, that match. Okay, other than my dance-off match against Cody, that was the closest that I've gotten to full tilt mode, where I was like, no, that's not cool. And then especially the circumstances.
That's by far one of my favorite things, that Nico shows up on one call, gives hints away, and then disappears into the... But I'm manager of the year. I helped him study. I don't know what I did, but I helped him study.
Oh, dear Lord.
Exactly.
But also, some managers are good at helping them study. I am good at the positive reinforcement pep
promos.
You're good at saying "good job." Or
you're the Jason Garrett of the Trivia League managers. You clap. That's all you do.
Shut the fuck up at that
He's
point,
actually
Brooklyn.
a really good manager. He has the best comparison. So when his people lose, he's like, guys, it happens to me. It's all right. We can get through this. This is how I do it. I jump in a pool. So go outside and jump in a pool.
Okay. For Schmodown comparison purposes, I think Cody is, in terms of like how he interacts with his faction, and but if we're going for personality, I would say Cody is Finstock, and Nico is Emma Fife in terms of personality, like how.
I don't say I don't. Okay,
No,
I don't
no,
say
don't
that
give
something's
me-
wacky. Like I don't like wear these tight little suits and like say stupid things that mean nothing. Like
Nico is more Ricky. If anything, he just doesn't show up.
Maybe Ryan actually just messaged me and said that Nico is Jay Washington.
Jay Washington is a million times better at a promo than Nico. This is
Polyama
the version
just
of
agreed
Nico's
that Nico
promo.
is definitely Jay Washington.
Nico's version of promo is this: my client will go in, win,
and I won't be there,
and answer questions, and win. Have a good one. I'm not on the call. Bye. Like, there's no promo skills. No offense. And he watched a lot of pro wrestling, so he should be better at it.
All right, Nico, we'll just say this right now. Will you be there for Zadius during the Multiplex Championship match?
Yes.
Cody, will you be there for Robert?
Duh.
Okay.
Brooklyn, will you be there? Never mind, sorry.
Brooklyn, have you even found someone to help Ed after him carrying you on his back for the umpteenth time?
Hey, Brooklyn already admitted it. Like when he did his thank you acceptance speech for something at the end of the year on Multiplex, he said thank you Ed Sale for never skipping leg day.
Exactly. He carried me. I was like I'm the David Tyree of our team. I just do one thing and then leave.
So you win a Super Bowl and then you're never heard from again.
Exactly. Our Super Bowl win is the match that never was.
I know we're not talking about canon or not canon anymore, but shouts out to Caleb Boatman who said, "Are any of us really canon?" That was pretty funny. I thought that was good.
All right, let's put this topic to bed here.
Robert, what's my one job?
You have obviously shown that I have not been doing the things I'm supposed to be doing. 2019 is still around the corner. My campaign for this year may have fallen flat, but I can make it up. I can make up precious time for next year.
All right, guys. Cody just won Manager of the Year because Nico conceded the race.
The funny thing is, I have another person to add to my faction in 2019, but it is handling over negotiation problems right now because I have the person that wants to join me, but the heads that be won't want him to join. So that will be explained later.
I know exactly who this is.
This will be explained later because as I brought this up to the competitor, he says, "Hell yes, make it happen." And I was told, nope, because somebody wants to keep him close to the best. And I'm sorry, I manage champions, and that's what I want.
Hey,
you know what?
You manage one champion.
Kane, this is up to you. If you want to allow this person to jump onto the Cody train.
Cody.
Yeah.
What I'll say is because Caleb told me who it was, and what I'll say is because you said that you'd support me in bowling. If this guy really wants to go to your team, he's more than welcome to.
There it is. Negotiations have been made.
2019 just got a whole lot better for me. Sorry, Nico. Manager of the Year for the second year. It's already ended in 2019. See you in 2020.
All right. To bring us, because I'd like to call this the first hour of Off the Rails craziness. For a special treat for the last bit of this is to bring us back on track. What we have prepared. Yes.
Just saying. Michael Campbell manages 3 champions.
That's true. But one of them is going to go to the Schmodown, so he'll just manage Lucas. But to bring us back on the rail. To bring us back on the rail, it's something that we're going to cover every week that I want to go over, especially this week is a big opening with movies this weekend. Come Thursday when we get our technical first day, even though they say Friday, it's really Thursday. But first I want to start off by going over last week's box office with some pretty big movies in it. which we have seen right here. We saw Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which I know a few people on here love. We saw The Mule, Mortal Engines, and unfortunately, the movie no one wanted, Once Upon a Deadpool. Now, breaking this into it, some big surprises in here, which, of course, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse taking the top gross with $35 million its first week, with only a budget of $90 million. So we can see that's probably going to easily make its budget back, just like with The Grinch easily making its money back of only $75 million budget, easily domestically making its money back with $239 million in the 6 weeks it's been out. What are some surprising starts with this new one for this week and some surprising flops? I want to go to everybody to get their opinion of it. So let's start with Caleb. I know me and you were talking off stream about this before it started, but what are some big winners this week and some big disappointments?
Well, I think the biggest winner is Spider-Verse, obviously. Grinch making another $11 million is nuts because I think that movie is hot garbage. I'm glad to see Creed 2 made another $5 million because that movie is now over $100 million. That's good. But I'm shocked to see Once Upon a Deadpool only made $2 million. After seeing the movie, I'm not really that surprised because the better version is called Deadpool 2. But making less money than Mortal Engines is weird.
Yeah. And Kane, I know you're a big proponent of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I know you love that movie. So what's your predictions maybe going into next week to see how well it's going to keep doing next week?
It's going to be crazy. And I might be called stupid for this because I don't know box office, but I think it's going to do more than it did this week. That's my honest opinion. I think people are getting
you think there's not going to be any drop off?
I think it's going to go up.
Okay.
Kids are getting out of school this week. This is my sister's last week for school, so they can go watch a movie. It's going to be the holiday weekend. Aquaman, from what I've heard, is not the best movie in the world, but we'll
cover that later.
It's better than more typical things, and then it's getting, in my opinion, the best word of mouth of a movie I've seen in a long time. Because everyone just saying you need to see this movie, you need to see it in theaters, and it's just a fun ride. I want to see it again personally, and I think $35 million, that's a very easy number to actually double. And its biggest competition is what? Bumblebee and Mary Poppins comes out next week. This week?
Yes. Well, yeah. It's going to be covered in what's coming out this week.
Mary Poppins came out the week after, so maybe not 35 million. But I still think it's gonna. I think it's gonna not have that big of a drop off, or it will still go up because I think it's gonna have a really good word of mouth personally.
Okay, Brooklyn, I want to go to you next. What do you think is one of the biggest disappointments of movies that came out this past week to mix in with the box office?
I mean, Mortal Engines is the one that sort of sticks out like a sore thumb, but at a budget of like $150 bajillion, it only made $7.5. It is technically the fifth highest gross movie of the week, but like obviously they had higher hopes for it, and like it's already being called one of the biggest bombs of 2018. As of every movie that's on that list, I have not seen any of them. What else is on there? It's good to see Bohemian Rhapsody is still in the mix there. Obviously, Creed 2. Movies and stuff. Mortal Legends is a bomb. That's essentially what it describes.
Okay, we'll go to the better half of Brooklyn, Cody Newberry. Cody, what's maybe some surprising knockoffs out of the top 10 you could see with some big movies coming out this weekend, looking maybe at next week's box office? What do you think are some movies that might get knocked out?
Okay, let me pull it up real quick. Just a few things that, so Mortal Engines, to quote a former movie theater employee, that's what you call a tax write-off, everybody. That's when your company puts out a movie and you know is going to be complete shit. You take out $100 million to cover your ass, and that's what they're doing. So congratulations. I've never seen a worse trailer in my entire life on that. That was like YA that didn't want to be YA. It was like terrible looking. Movies that will knock off, like I think Grinch may even stay around even longer because it's like getting closer and closer to Christmas. Even that movie is not good. I think probably the Mule will drop off. Again, it was that rush to go out there because it's Clint Eastwood. I think his last acting performance, or one of them. So that will probably drop with Mary Poppins and what was the other one?
Bumblebee and Aquaman.
Yeah. So I think Instant Family will finally go away. Fantastic Beasts will go away. Bohemian Rhapsody will probably drop. I hope Into the Spider-Verse blows up because that movie is incredible. And Once Upon a Deadpool, not shocked at all because obviously there's overhype of Deadpool, but everybody still doesn't want to see a PG-13. It's not that good, like the second or first one. Just like
yeah, it's true.
Just say F word over, just say fuck it and look in the camera and play 90s music. That's funny.
Come on, guys. Fuck's just a word. Fuckity, fuck.
Okay, stop. You're rude.
But Nico, looking at this, after my phone goes off there inappropriately, I knew I should have muted that bitch. But looking at this, do you think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse will continue on into the #1 spot for next week, or do you think it will be supplanted?
See, I've been talking about this at work with everyone else that at the theater, and it's hard to really put a finger on it because also Mary Poppins Returns, Aquaman, and Bumblebee are coming out next week, and also there's Welcome to Marwen, but I don't expect that to do anything.
Her name's not Nico.
But yeah, I'm gonna. If I have to pick one, I think Mary Poppins Returns is gonna take the top spot.
Can we just take a pause? Can we take a pause? That Caleb literally thought his name was Nico and decided to answer Nico's question.
Yes. Nico.
I didn't hear Nico. I'm sorry.
Obviously.
He's just on for a bit.
I'm about to go on tilt right now.
Tilt mode activated.
So here's the thing. For Into the Spider-Verse, I feel like it's going to stay on top mainly because there's still people like me who have not gotten a chance to see it yet, and will be seeing it likely this week before the holiday season officially gets underway. So people like me are going to help keep that thing in the top spot. Wreck-It Ralph 2, I saw it today, so it'll at least stay within the top 10, but it'll probably drop one or two things down at least. The Mule, I have no interest in seeing that. And Cody mentioned the trailer, and that trailer was not appealing whatsoever. It looked really dull, so I have a feeling that's going to drop pretty quickly. And so let me just look at the list one more time. Mortal Engines, I've heard some mixed things on it. So, yeah. It's probably going to go down too. I don't know. Box office isn't my specialty, so I don't know how useful I am here.
Well, this is just a fun thing to look at with everybody to take a look on it. But, yeah, I could see Spider-Verse staying within the top 5 next week. I think it really had a big... Yeah.
I do want to bring up something Paul Oyama said, and that's that Once Upon a Deadpool got a limited release, so therefore it's in less theaters, and therefore for it to be doing as well as it is actually, he didn't say it's impressive, but it says different stakes to measure. So
yeah, I mean, we'll see how that does with a wider release, but I still think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, with that good of an opening weekend, it'll stay within the top 5. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch will probably stay in there, being that it is closer to Christmas, and parents want to take their kids to see a Christmas movie, even though it's not good, and they should never have remade the original so many times. But we have this new iteration. Something coming for next week, some big 3 movies coming next week. The first one I want to cover is, of course, Mary Poppins Returns, coming back here with Emily Blunt. As you can see, the title role of Mary Poppins. This could be another big hit for Disney's live action line. Let's start with thoughts, overall expectations. How well do you think it's going to do? Let's go this time. Let's go with Brooklyn.
Sure. I'm a fan of the OG movie growing up as a kid. I haven't really been following the hype train of this. Will I go see it in theaters? Probably not. Because there's already a list of like 20 or 30 films that I've yet to see in theaters that I needed to. But yeah, it's gonna be good. Emily Blunt, Lin-Manuel Miranda, one of the greatest rappers of all time.
You say God's name correctly, or else I will kick you from this call.
Lin-Manuel Miranda?
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Greatest rapper of all time. Man. It's go to somebody else. I'm probably the worst person to start off.
Okay. Kane, how about you? Go with the same thought here.
Yeah, Lin-Manuel Miranda, totally the best rapper to ever.
Will kill you.
I mean, he's just the best.
With
that being said, Mary Poppins is gonna blow things out of the water. It's gonna put 8 Mile to shame. Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Okay, we'll go to Cody. What about you?
So what's the question on the table?
Overall, how do you think it's going to do? What are your expectations for it for opening weekend? How well do you think it'll do? What are some expectations you have for the movie overall being another line in Disney live-action remakes?
Poppins is probably in my top 10 of Disney. I absolutely love the first one, and I think La 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 Miranda will do really good with the music because I respect him a lot. I think Emily Blunt's one of the best working actresses today. Probably in the top 3. She will put her all into it, and I don't think that will be the problem if the movie doesn't do well. I think she will be a shining part. I just don't know if it's going to live up to fans of Poppin or the new generation introducing Poppins to them. I still think for curiosity alone, I think it will probably it's got Aquaman and Bumblebee, which I think Bumblebee is going to scare a lot of people. Just because of the name, even if it is better, I think it's still going to scare. I would say I would put it more in the 85 range, 70 to 85, give or take, especially in good word of mouth. So that's what I would say.
All right, and we'll go to Nico next since somebody jumped on him last time. Nico, same bout of questions of yours.
Okay, so I saw the original once, and that was like 20 years ago. So, it's been a while since Mary Poppins has had anything to do with my existence on this planet, and it'll probably break even. But as for, I don't fucking know.
All right, we'll go to Caleb. I know you'll probably have a lot of thoughts with this, but we'll go to you now. Caleb.
It's good when he freezes.
I know.
He's currently in prayer right now. We've said the Lord's name in vain, and he's praying too, so that the God himself does not disturb.
I thought he was praying for the Minnesota Vikings to hopefully make the playoffs, but yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back to him later.
He doesn't get to come back and talk about Lin-Manuel Miranda or whatever the hell his name is.
Yeah, we'll just go on to our next movie, also coming out, as we've heard, one of them, Aquaman with Jason Momoa. The next episode, I guess you could say, the DCEU Worlds of DC movie series with Jason Momoa as Aquaman, as we've seen in Justice League. Hopefully a better portrayal of it. With this, I think Warner Brothers really needs this to really be a hit, like Wonder Woman, to continue on with this. Kane, I want to go to you first because you are our big comic book guy. What are some thoughts, maybe some positive hopes you have this and some fears, I guess, you have with this movie?
The action looks cool. Like there's that one extended trailer where like they do a long shot of like following Mara, and then it pans all the way over and like you see Aquaman. That's enough to excite me to go watch it. I think James Wan is a really good director, and I'm excited to see what it is. I hope to see more like of the Conjuring-esque than like Fast and Furious. That's for sure. But that's about it. I mean, I like the cast. I like Jason Momoa. The dude looks awesome. It looks like one of those guys that you just can't hate. So yeah, I mean, I'll watch it. But am I expecting a lot? No, because the worlds of DCEU has burned with me multiple times.
Nico, let's go to you next. With this is I guess you could say like a darker version of Aquaman. Is that whole darker theme with the DCEU as we've seen, compared to lighter versions of Aquaman we've seen in the past, whether it be cartoons, show iterations, what have you. How do you think this performance of Aquaman will do in the DCEU?
Okay, so I actually have a unique perspective on this because I was part of the Amazon Prime viewership that took place this past weekend. So I actually got to see this movie on Saturday. And so the way I'll say it is this. It's kind of like the DC's take on a Marvel movie. And I could tell that the cast was having a lot of fun. But for me, there was just a missing ingredient that kept it from surpassing the bar of meh for me in terms of liking it. And
were you missing Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man?
No. There's a point I want to make, but I'm afraid that if I do make it, it will spoil the movie. So I don't want to make that point.
Yeah, we'll save that for after the release then.
So I'm simply going to say that if other people enjoy it more than I did, good for you. Like I know Dan Skip Allen, he got to see it recently, and he enjoyed the ever-loving hell out of it. He gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And that's his perspective. Nazario, I think he enjoyed it as well, but he recognizes that it has some issues. For me, it was just meh. I wanted to like it more, and sadly it just couldn't. It couldn't grasp me more than it did.
All right, I want to go to Cody next. Cody, Aquaman. How well do you think it's going to do opening this weekend?
That's just a weird perspective on it. Like, I know you saw it, and you're like, they're attempting an MCU movie? Is that what you said?
Kinda, yeah. Like
that sounds like the shittiest review ever. No offense, and I'm not saying that you said it wrong, but that doesn't make me excited because I don't want to see a cut rate attempt at a good studio. I want like an actual good one. I think this is going to fall middle of the road like even Wonder Woman. I don't care what people say to me. I think Wonder Woman was fine. It was like seeing a bunch of terrible.
I'm going to say this right now. Watch what you're saying because you might get stuck with Jake and Ryan. And
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
God.
Also, I'm not big on Black Panther, so I will explain that too. My whole viewpoint is that it was like seeing a bunch of terrible films, and right after you see those terrible films, something that actually doesn't suck come out, and everybody's like, "What? This is the greatest movie ever." It's not going to have that effect. I think they're taking risks in this movie, and that's great. I just think they need to stop production on everything. Stop, rewind, focus up, and do something. Like, I'm so sick of the DCEU or Worlds of DC or whatever the hell you want to call them. The problem I have with the studio is they want to be completely different and far away from Marvel or MCU because that's what their competitors are doing. Well, your competitor is kicking your ass and doing a lot better job at it. So you might as well just take the blueprint and run with your characters because one, arguably in comics, DC has the most compelling heroes. So you might as well just start running with it. Because guess what? Iron Man was not big name Marvel character before Robert Downey Jr. put on the mantle of it. Okay? So take your great characters like Batman, like Superman, like The Flash, like Aquaman and Wonder Woman, and run with them. Yeah, go ahead.
Just ask like a thing, like as a panel question. Would it have been better if they were to include the Arrowverse into the DCEU canon because that already had a strong following behind it?
No, because then you're putting the Arrowverse with a bunch of stuff that's not good. And
No.
I
I'm saying
even say
back
that
before Man
point.
of Steel even started. I'm saying back in 2012 when Arrow would be the first official kickoff to the DCEU.
This is the biggest problem with studios is they have to attach big names to big properties to get viewership. Right?
The average viewers, yes.
So the problem is that they can't do that because if they I don't watch Arrowverse, but I know there's not a Batman, correct?
Well, he's
There's
kind
hint
of
or whatever. Like okay,
there's been a confirmation.
He's in hiding for 3 years right now.
But he doesn't have anything going on right now in the story.
No.
Like he's not okay. But that's the whole viewpoint is you can't take that character actor and put him on the big screen and sell the movie. Even though I think that's one of the dumbest concepts ever. Even if it was a great like Barry Allen in The Flash. Or again, I'm way behind on all that stuff. So I'm not saying one thing's right. But you can't put that actor out there and sell. That's why like the movie Les Mis is my best example of that. They could have found Broadway actors and that could perform that show way better. But no, they go and get Russell Crowe because he can sell the movie, and that's the version you get. There's the problem. Too many studio heads. They don't have like a clear-cut studio head, and this movie is just too... I love the visuals of this movie. I think Aquaman looks crazy cool, but I don't trust them. I don't trust them with anything at this point, and I of all the movies, this is like Transformers for me. I don't want to run out and go watch this right now because I'm just not that pumped for it. And
you've been burned so many times.
Yeah, exactly. It's like your girlfriend keeps cheating on you. Like I don't want to keep that happening. You know, it's awkward to keep going to that well. So I think James Wan, I think they can do it, but I just rather them do a reboot and not waste Flashpoint. Do not waste Flashpoint by any means. Just do a hard reset, write a different world, do something crazy, and then bring that back
Superman,
later.
You can only do it once.
Like Infinity Gauntlet, right? If they wasted that on like crappy movies, that would have been so. But we've had 10 years. If like their 10-year mark, they do a Flashpoint, that's going to be mind blowing and awesome when it's actually good. Because MCU has had stinkers, right? But not off the gate, like not running out of the, those movies were still passable in those time periods.
Yeah. And I just want to piggyback off of what Cody said.
Good talk.
And that's
you cut out. No chance of it.
Yeah, it's like I want to piggyback off what Cody said, and then silence.
Okay, so sorry. Like Cody mentioned, the problem with studios and Damn it! Did it happen again?
No. You're here.
Okay, you all are frozen on my feed, so I thought I cut out again. But the problem with studios is that, with the exception of Marvel Studios, all the other ones keep putting the cart before the horse. And that was where the DCEU / Worlds of DC went wrong. They started off with a singular thing. They started off with Man of Steel, and then they were like, no, we got to have the Justice League now because Avengers is already so far ahead. So we got to play catch up. And it did not work. That's how the dark universe with all the monsters did not pan out the way anyone had planned. Because right after they released The Mummy, they were already doing promotional stuff for all their future movies. And what happened? None of those future movies got made. So it just like anytime, if you want to do a universe, that is fine, but do not announce it. Do not show all your cards before you've actually gotten the hand.
In this day and age, to have a team-up movie of Batman vs. Superman and have 7 minutes of Batman vs. Superman fighting in your movie and 3 hours of boring, that's a problem. Like, that's a huge problem in your movie. And I remember falling asleep in Batman vs. Superman, and that should have never happened with those two characters on screen.
Yeah. And with that, we'll go to Brooklyn next. Brooklyn, after covering all that, I guess, what are maybe some positive aspects you, as just a regular moviegoer, would have looking at this as some interest to go see this?
All right. So what I hope that they do with Aquaman is that I found a lot with like how DCU Worlds of DC have been going about it is that they've been like really overhyping their movies. They're like, this is going to be one of the best movies ever. Blah 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 blah. I hope with Aquaman and the general reaction that I'm getting or that I'm seeing is that they realize where they're at like status wise with Aquaman, where it's just like we don't expect this to be like the greatest film ever. We just want it to be like this middle to good film. And from what Nico is saying, it seems like they're gonna have fun with like the Aquaman poster, especially. I love how they're like have a sort of out front with the costume, because I know like back when like in junior high when I was growing up, like especially watching Robot Chicken, like Aquaman was the one that was shit on, and his costume looked fucking awful. Going off on the whole like reboot DCEU thing, I'm indifferent if they reboot it or not. If they continue with this, fine. Like let them. I think there's two games that you can play. One, you can wait it out and wait for MCU to sort of take their lull, which I think they'll eventually end up doing. It's just a matter of when. And sort of wait it out. Or what you could do, and here's what I would potentially pitch, I guess, to DC is what they're doing with Joker right now is they're treating it as almost like an Elseworld story. Continuous world stories. I think like a Gotham by Gaslight would be pretty cool. Like Kingdom Come. You could do like Blackest Night, which isn't necessarily Elseworld, but it does some pretty cool things. Maybe have that where you just have these individual solo one-offs, and then if you want to, you could mesh them together, similar to I know Nico has played it, but think of Marvel Superheroes 2, where King of the Conqueror literally just brought all the universes together into one thing, Chronopolis. That would be sort of my pitch as to what you could do. But you know, I think this is going to be a middle of the road film, and that's what they want it to be. Not their top, not their like their flagship Wonder Woman, but you know, like a solid.
Yeah, a solid movie to keep it going. Yeah. And Caleb, since you missed the last one because of internet problems,
my cat unplugged my Wi-Fi, so yes.
Oh, we thought you were going to pray to your rap god, but
no,
with Aquaman,
that happens at promptly midnight every night.
Okay, well, with Aquaman here, what are some thoughts you have going into this opening weekend of expectations, maybe some problems or some positives you've seen with the trailers that we've seen? How well do you think it's going to do?
I think Aquaman's going to do surprisingly well, and people are going to be like, "Oh, what a shocker! Aquaman's 100-some million over 3 weeks or something, or 2 weeks or whatever." I think Aquaman played its cards right by being a superhero movie in December when there's no Star Wars. So they're going to do all right. I think Mary Poppins Returns is going to do pretty good, and I do believe that Lynn is probably going to boost some of the sales on that. And I'm interested in the music, and I'm interested in Lynn, and those are the only reasons why I'm interested in a Mary Poppins sequel. And Bumblebee, I hope it's good.
Okay, covering all that. So quick thoughts. I mean, I'm excited to see Aquaman. I'm a big Jason Momoa fan from Stargate and a lot of the TV projects that he's done. I think he could do this with an interesting new rebooted take with an Aquaman that doesn't seem like what we've seen in the past iterations of, like we heard earlier, of getting completely shit on. South Park's done it, Robot Chicken, everyone's done it. So hopefully this will be a good showing for Aquaman. But the third big movie opening up this weekend is, of course, Bumblebee, which is a big, I guess you could say, restart on the Transformers franchise. I think this is needed for this. You have, I forget her fucking name. She was in the Pitch Perfect movies.
Haley Steinfeld.
Yes.
Oscar and you have Haley Steinfeld.
Yes, and you have John Cena in here, which on a Transformers movie, the lead man role, you see that just weird star thrown in there, like Mark Wahlberg, Shia LaBeouf. But this one coming out kind of like a fresh restart on it. I think the looks of it and the story is going to be more what fans want with the original OG Transformer storyline than what we've seen with the past iterations of Transformers. But let's go with some thoughts. Let's go first. Caleb, since you missed Mary Poppins and you had to cover your rap god there, what are your thoughts? Just talking about Transformers this time.
Okay.
What are your thoughts overall with this new iteration?
I really hope it's good. I've only seen like one trailer. It looks to be pretty good. I think I'll see it, and I'm not even a Transformers person, but I do hope Bumblebee. I hope Bumblebee's pretty good. I have faith in Travis Knight. But yeah.
All right, let's go to Brooklyn next. Brooklyn, same thing.
So first thing I'm gonna say is I like the poster, but it's sort of missing something on like the bottom right corner. All I see is like this yellow sort of beigey thing. All I see is like the girl and the robot thing. I was looking for like a male lead. No, you guys like my jokes? Fuck you guys. I try to throw in a John Cena. You can't see me joke. You guys are just looking on your cell phones.
Wow. That's as bad as Canada. Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I'm seeing the trailers of this. It takes me back to like Beasties and like the '90s Transformers films. It's something I enjoy. I would like in my own little headcanon, I would love to see a Beasties adaptation because that was the iteration of Transformers that I grew up with. But yeah, I think this will be good. Similar to Aquaman, they're not looking for it to be the flagship of the franchise. Looking for it to be a solid middle of the road film.
All right, and we'll go to Nico next. Nico, seeing that this is hopefully maybe like a soft reset to really restart this after Michael Bay has tragically, even though he's made billions of dollars, just destroying the legacy. What are your thoughts going into Bumblebee, seeing maybe a fresh start with the series?
So up until now, I have refused to watch all of the Transformers films. This one will be the film that will that they make that will actually get me to the theater and watch them. I like Bumblebee, and I like Haley Steinfeld. John Cena's in it, so that's a plus for me. But it looks like a genuinely good Transformers film, and that's something that separates it from all the other films, which are basically just Michael Bay explosion porn. So this looks like it has heart to it. It has a soul, and yeah, I will definitely watch it in theaters.
All right, Kane, I want to go to you next because you brought up when we covered Aquaman of studios burning you on past movies. Do you think this iteration of Transformers is going to be another fuck you from the studios, or do you think it would be a good fresh start for fans?
I'm going to go watch this movie because of one reason, and it's because Haley Steinfeld is just fantastic. So I'm going to watch it for her. That's about it.
Okay. Cody, we'll go to you. What are thoughts and aspirations of going to see Bumblebee, if you have any thoughts or aspirations to see it by that look on your face?
I'll be taking a shit. No, thank you. I have no desire. I think the trailers are fine. I know Michael Bay's not doing this. I wish. I think Haley Steinfeld's manager should be fired for suggesting this take on role. It's like I saw a review. It's literally the 80s thrown down your throat. Yes, I think the Transformers would be a really good concept, but this is way too early to do a reboot. This is a terrible strategy. You just had a huge flop on your hand with Last Night. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah, something like that. 2, 3.
And now you put out another one on top of it. I just think it's a bad idea. I have no desire to see this at all. It'll probably be good, but if it is good, I'll probably wait till it comes out and we'll watch it then, and then maybe the next one. I just don't think Bumblebee's that intriguing of a character to me. I know like he speaks through the radio and that's cool, but it's just not really for me. So I wouldn't personally go see this movie, but yeah.
All right. And I think a real closeout for this, I kind of want to do this to see how we go with these predictions. Who knows? Maybe we'll get a prize for whoever gets the most right next week. We'll give a little bit of a prize. I kind of want to go down the panel, and I want you to give me your top 5 movies for how well you think they're going to do in the box office for next week.
Oh.
So I want to go to Nico first. With what we've talked about so far, what we've seen so far, what do you think the top 5 box office results are going to be next week coming back for our next episode?
Okay, so I think Into the Spider-Verse stays at number 1. Aquaman at number 2. Bumblebee at number 3. Can I see the list again?
Yeah, I'll screen share it. Here's the list.
Okay. All right. I'll say Ralph Breaks the Internet stays at number 4. And Dr. Seuss's The Grinch is at 5.
Okay. We'll go to Brooklyn next. What are your thoughts with the top 5?
So let me write out this list here right quick. Okay. And then we'll go with, Ralph. All right. So at number 1, Mary Poppins Returns. It is the one that speaks to most demographics and to make the most money. Number 2, we have Spooderman, into the Spooderverse. Number 3 is Aquaman. Number 4 is Bumblebee, and number 5 I think it's going to be Wreck-It Ralph 2, because Dr. Seuss's Grinch is going to fall off flatter than a pancake.
All right. Let's go to Caleb next.
Okay, I'm going to make a gutsy move. I'm going to agree with Brooklyn almost entirely and say that Mary Poppins Returns is number 1, Spider-Verse is number 2, Aquaman's number 3, Bumblebee's number 4, Welcome to Marwen is going to make it to number 5.
Welcome to Marwen?
Yeah, Welcome to Marwen.
That movie looks really
Gosh.
Okay. Interesting 5th take there. Let's go to Cody.
Okay, y'all are on serious crack. As somebody that's tracked box office for a while, Mary Poppins at 85 million. Aquaman is going to take the 2nd spot with probably around 65, because there's no way a comic book movie, regardless how crappy it is going to not beat the movie that made 35 million last week. Bumblebee is going to be in the 3rd spot with 45 million. Spider-Verse is going to drop, but not much, 25 million. And The Grinch, even though it is terrible, grandmothers are going to be like, those kids like the Green Man. I'm going to take him to see it for 10 million.
All right. And Kane, we'll go to you.
Very similar. Last minute change at the 5 spot, though. Mary Poppins, it's going to be number 1. Number 2 is going to be Aquaman, because this is the year of comic book movies. Come on. Spider-Verse is going to be number 3. 4, I have Bumblebee, because I don't have faith that I think people have been too burned by Transformer movies. And then 5 is going to be the only Christmas movie coming out. That's out technically right now, and that's The Grinch, because Christmas time.
All right.
I mean, you can always go to Netflix Christmas classics like the Christmas Chronicles.
Yeah, they have The Grinch.
Or the 2000 Grinch quality.
No, people will be watching the animated TV special, The Grinch. You millennial.
Hey,
Yep.
Hey, Brooklyn, see that door? Smash your head in it. All right. Continue.
All right, cool.
All right. For mine, I'm gonna say Mary Poppins at 1, Aqua at number 2, Aquaman, because I'm hurry up and writing these. I think Spider-Verse is going to stay number 3, because I've heard a lot of positive with this, so I think it's going to stay in at number 3. I think B is going to be number 4. And then I'm going to say at number 5, I'm going to say I'm going to say The Mule stays in the top 5 because it is one of those last Clint Eastwood movies, and I think it's going to really help that stay in there because Clint Eastwood is that beloved badass actor, that badass characters he's had in the past. I think The Mule is going to stay in the top 5. So going over again, myself, you've already heard mine. Kane is going to Mary Poppins, Aquaman, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Bumblebee, and of course the horrendous Grinch Stole Christmas. I agree with Brooklyn that the original classic is the best. Nico's going with Spider-Man at 1, Aquaman 2, Bumblebee at 3, Ralph Breaks the Internet at number 4, and
Can I change something because I forgot Mary Poppins hadn't come out yet.
No, in the words of the late Reggie Flynn, a card laid is a card played.
Yes, you've already played your cards.
You lose. Good day, sir. Just like Manager of the Year.
But Nico's is, of course, what was your doc? Or
the Grinch was at 5.
Yes, I just put Doc for short. Yeah, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Cody going with his years of so-called experience with Mary Poppins, Aquaman, Bumblebee, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and the horrendous How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Brooklyn, Mary Poppins, Spider-Man, Aquaman, Bee, and Ralph Breaks the Internet. Caleb going with Brooklyn's top 4, and then his last one, risky there for 5. Welcome to, what was it again?
Marwin.
Welcome to Marwin. So next week we'll see how well we do. We'll figure out a nice little prize for whoever wins. Maybe this will be something we keep going for with shows. Who knows? We'll see how it goes.
Instead of having a prize for the winner, the person who is the most wrong has to spin the wheel of doom.
It goes
I really thought you were.
Sunday.
All I'm saying is what we should do is you make a wheel and then you put like things on it, like we'll all say something and you put on it, and the person who's the most far off has to spin said wheel and then do whatever is said.
Okay, that could be interesting. Yeah, we can do that. We'll all get our picks for it from us that have been on already for this one to see how it does, and we'll do that next week to see what happens. But yeah, I mean, around a runtime like this, I think this is probably a good runtime for these. Our first hour of debauchery and off the rails. I love that. This is why I wanted Cody and Brooklyn on the premiere episode, because they have just a great chemistry, and of course with Caleb, who's raising his hand, and Kane and Nico and myself throwing that extra spice. But Caleb, go ahead.
Okay. So, breaking news. The Oscars shortlists have been released for certain
let him go. What is it, Caleb?
Not all of these really matter. I don't think anyone really.
Somebody muted him. Somebody muted him. Let me tell you right now.
I don't think anyone cares. I don't think anyone cares about hair and makeup. I don't think anyone cares about hair and makeup. But the two that I think are interesting, and I know Kane, I think, is going to be interested in these, the visual effects and original score ones are out. Tim, I'm trying to make for a good show.
That could have been Nico. It wasn't me.
It's definitely you. Nico would do that. And watch, Nico's going to do it now because he's going to be a smart ass.
No, I'm talking to Dan right now in a chat room.
Very quickly. There are 10 movies that are left in the visual effects race, and they are Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers Infinity War, Black Panther, Christopher Robin, First Man, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, Mary Poppins Returns, Ready Player One, Solo, and Welcome to Marwin for best visual effects. And the original score one is more interesting to me. Annihilation, Avengers Infinity War, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, Black Panther, Black Klansman, Crazy Rich Asians, The Death of Stalin, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, First Man, If Beale Street Could Talk, Isle of Dogs, Mary Poppins Returns, A Quiet Place, Ready Player One, and Vice.
If A Quiet Place doesn't get any form of like sound mixing, sound editing, it's a huge slap in the face to what he was able to do.
I think the biggest shock is Crimes of J.K. Rowling getting a Best Original Score shortlist spot.
I might be the minority here, but I really liked the score for Solo. I'm surprised it's not even.
I did too. They actually disqualified it. They disqualified it from Best Original Score because of the John Williams thing at the beginning. I think.
Okay.
I know. I think that's weird. But yeah, those are the two that I think everyone is okay with hearing.
All right.
Okay. For that breaking Oscar news, thank you, Caleb Coho, our Oscar correspondent, who politely raised his hand. This is not grade school. You don't have to raise your hand. But, yeah, I think for this episode, we'll go ahead and close it out. Kane muting Caleb Coho again. A running joke that's never going to get old.
I'm not even talking.
I know, but you weren't even going to pay attention. Okay, fucking Tim had to bring it up.
It's funny. Fuck you. But we'll close it out here. And like we always do, this is episode 1 of the After Show. We'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh dear. What a fun time to be alive.
Anarchy.
And that's what happens.
Oh, you kicked him off?
Yeah, that's what you get for muting me, bitch. But anyways, we'll go out. I know he'll join back in. But we'll go out down the line as we always do with where you can find us and all that good stuff. Let's go to our special guest for the first episode, Brooklyn Vale. Where can the good kids find you, sir?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at TheRealBK10, the number not the word. You can also find me on Multiplex Entertainment with Cody, I guess. I don't know what to call him.
With Cody?
With Cody. Me and Cody are going to be commissioned in that Nerdgasm League there, eh? Yeah, that's going to be starting up in January. We're actually going to be recording matches this week, so I'm very excited for that. You can also have me Take 3 Productions running not one but 2 shows. 2 Bucks Trivia, various music trivia, debate, and countdown show. Be sure to check out our entirety of debates with the Journey to the Crown, which finalizes on Snowball. And on Thursdays, we do Late Night Take 3 and various topical pop culture podcasts where you can find Cody Newberry berating me for every decision that I ever make. Be sure to check out our final episode on Thursday, the best of 2018, which will be a doozy of a show. So, yeah.
All right, and our second special guest here, Cody Newberry Blueberry. Where can the good kids find you?
Hell, special guest. I thought we were regulars, but whatever. You can find me. You can find me over at Take 3 Productions. I'm on like 4 shows over there. Watch Longs will be turning in January. Thursday, join us for Brooklyn is Wrong 2-hour special. Rank 'em where everybody is wrong and I am right. Friday, help with Full Metal Geek. The championship is going to be wrapped up at Snowball. Find me on Jukebox Trivia at the Snowball, fighting for the Dance-Off Championship against Matt Rosa, which should be a bloodbath. And me and Brooklyn are taking over Nerdgasm, like he said. Matches are being recorded, and they will be dropping in probably middle of January or late, beginning of February. So we will crown the champion by hopefully the end of April. So yay!
All right, yeah, that is going to be fun to see that come back. All right, and Caleb Coho, one of our regulars here on Multiplex.
All right. Well, you can find me on Multiplex Entertainment. I run Fandom Fight on Fridays, and you can find me running The Last Stand with Kane and Tim. That's coming up pretty soon. That's our big year-end trivia thing, the Multiplex Gauntlet, where one person will have won a title shot in any division they want. The Manager Bowl, Brooklyn and Cody and Nico will all be in that match. The winner will get a number 1 contenders match in any division that they want for any of their players. And the Multiplex Championship, where all of our champions will play for one large, shiny specialty title. Yeah, that's where you can find me. Also, at the Snowball, I am going to be taking the Michael Jackson Ironman match and beating Jeremy Adams to become the Michael Jackson champ.
All right. And, of course, Nico Suave Regole, our favorite underdog of trivia leagues. Where can they find you?
Facebook, Twitter, YouTube at Nico Suave Regoli. That's NICOSUAVEREGOLI. Over on Film Nerd TV with Combat Zone Wrestling Trivia Championship will be decided on January 27th live. More information on that in just a moment. Also, the Week of Wrestling podcast with Hunter Chambliss. Every week, the name is self-explanatory. Dedicated to art, I'm getting involved more and more on that channel with Case Cornelese and Christopher Doman. And right here at Multiplex Entertainment, that's the name of the Facebook group, and the YouTube channel. The Twitter is at MultiplexYT. The Instagram is Multiplex Entertainment Network. The TeePublic is just Multiplex. Buy our awesome shirts. Mondays, Movie Warzone. Tuesdays, TV Throwdown. Singles and Fandom. Wednesday is Sports Battlefield sometimes. Thursday is Arrowverse discussion called Crisis on Earthplex, as well as the Co-Hoskers. Don't watch that show. Friday is Fandom Fight. Saturday is Nerdgasm. Sunday is Around the League with Nico. And the John Regole Memorial Triviathon for Thon from January 21st to January 27th. Matches all day, every day, from Full Metal, Multiplex, Jukebox, and Combat Zone, raising money for the Ford Diamonds Pediatric Cancer Research Fund in partnership with Penn State Thon, and in honor of my dad who passed away from cancer back in January. Hashtag The Last Stand.
Time.
And
Whoa.
We gotta get better at this. They get a lot better at this.
Well, it kind of helps us plug everything. I would go to Cade, but he's still salty after starting with muting me and then getting kicked off the call for that. He's still a little bit salty.
That's great. I'm going to screen share that.
But you can find Cade and myself here. Cade helps a lot with graphics, all that good stuff, makes the t-shirts. You can find him a lot over helping with fandom with Caleb, myself. Around Multiplex, you know the drill. You've heard this enough times. So for all of us, that is Caleb Coho, Brooklyn Vale, Cody Newberry, Nico screenshotting for some fucking reason, and I am Tim Smith. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Every Mondays at 8:30. We'll see you later.
Drive safely.
Drive on safe.